Hey there, it's Coach Craig Kenneth, and today I'm going to be talking to you about how she can seem like two different people. Yeah, you're in a relationship, and what happens? All of a sudden, a fight just happens, and sometimes it can happen really quick, and you don't know what happened or why, but all of a sudden you find yourself defending yourself like this, emotionally, and you're just like, what's going on here? And you start, oh, well, you do this and you do that, and you start trying to defend yourself, okay? So what's going on here is anxiety. Anxiety is the root of these issues. When somebody gets really upset with us and they start lashing out. Okay, so why am I saying it's anxiety? Okay, so what typically happens is we feel a disconnect from our partner if they do something that makes us feel unloved. So, for example, if you forget to take out the trash when she asked you 6 times, she starts to feel like you don't love her, right? So she starts to feel this disconnect. He doesn't love me because I keep asking him to do something important for me and he doesn't do it. So that's what she's seeing. So once she feels the disconnect, she starts to feel anxious and separation anxiety. And then when people feel this anxiety, they do everything they can to make it go away. That feeling, that unpleasant feeling of abandonment, of you don't love me, of anxiety, causes people to get really irrational at times. I'm talking about, lashing out. They could become angry, manipulative, hurtful, cruel, just start pointing out everything that we do to upset them because they're feeling the disconnect from us. And you have to understand that if it's hysterical, it's historical. In other words, what I mean by that is if it's out of proportion to what actually is going on, it's because this is most likely a childhood wound that she felt, and that wound is never really healed, and so now you're like reopening the wound, right? So what you can do in this situation is, first of all, understand that it is anxiety that they're feeling and try and have a little empathy towards that. Maybe the situation is you tell her you want to go out with your friends on Thursday. And she's like, wait, Thursday? Thursday? This Thursday? We're supposed to watch our show on Thursday? You know our show is on Thursday. And you told me that we were going to watch our show together every week, and now this week you don't want to watch it because you want to do what? You want to go out with who? Oh, you want to go out with John? John, the guy who you didn't like 2 weeks ago, that you were mad at 2 weeks ago, now you want to go out with him instead of me? Right? And so all of a sudden you're just like, what the heck? What is going on here? That's how quickly it can happen. It's because she was like that, the connection that she had to you when you watch a show together is feeling like, now you got the anxiety, and now she's starting to get upset, trying to guilt you, manipulate you, or whatever, to staying home with her. Maybe she feels like you go out with friends, maybe you cheat on her, whatever. It could be a lot of different things. But that's ultimately the underlying issue. So what you need to do is reassure her. Okay, you need to say, listen, baby, I really love you. I absolutely adore you. I understand you're upset right now. And it could be difficult to do this with somebody that's like literally pulling out a scroll at this point of things you do in the relationship that they hate you for. And they start pointing out every little thing, right? What is that trying to do? That's trying to show you all these different ways that you make her feel disconnected to you. And that's ultimately what she's trying to show you. Look at all these other reasons why I feel disconnected and I don't feel close to you, right? So, what you want to do here is try not to defend yourself, okay? Don't let her, impose on your boundaries. Don't let her become hurtful or manipulative. You have a right to say, okay, I understand you're upset, but you don't have a right to start, insulting me or doing this or that hurtful, calling me names or whatnot. What you want to do is you want to say, okay, you're upset because you feel like I'm not going to be there for you when I told you I would. And then say, you know what? That makes sense. You're right. I did say that to you. And I could see where you're coming from that. And then you want to really take a look at it and show her some empathy and be like, you know what? Now that I think about it, if you wanted to go out with your girlfriends on Thursday and, I wanted to watch our show together, yeah, I think I would be upset too. I can see where you're coming from, so I see why you're upset. If you can learn to do that instead of defend yourself, you listen to what she has to say, see the logic in it, and then try and understand it with some empathy, you're going to reduce a lot of your fights. Okay? And if you reduce a lot of your fights, you're going to feel a lot safer in the relationship. And you're going to be able to grow together. Because if you don't grow together, you grow apart. Now, you may say, well, I don't want to do this work. I don't want to do that. Well, guess what? You know what? Then be alone. Because if you don't work with your partner on helping them on their issues, and she doesn't work with you on helping you on your issues, you're never going to grow as people. And you're just going to grow away from each other. You're going to feel disconnected. And you're going to be that couple that you see at the restaurant that stares at each other and has nothing to say. Like, you don't want that. Nobody wants that. You don't want to grow, or, have your kids grow up in that kind of environment where your parents are just not even talking. No, you got to put safety in the relationship. You can do that by trying not to defend yourself. It can be very difficult at times. Just try and provide some support, some encouragement. Listen to what they have to say. See the logic in what they have to say. And then provide some empathy about it. So, if you do that, I think Gollum will stop revealing its ugly head. And, you won't see Gollum coming out as often as he did. Even though you love him so much in the movie, you don't want him sleeping with you in bed at night. So go to my website, askcraig.net, set up a coaching session, or hit me up with an email, and I will talk to you soon.